Well, hello there, folks. It's a little later than usual by day. It's 7:32 p.m. on the 1st of January 2022. The 1st of January. It's been kind of a crazy thing, the year of 2021. I mean, we went into post, I guess you could call it a sort of a dangerous situation in 2020, and we went from that to 21, and honestly, a lot of bad vibes have existed. But luckily, this is not a problem you'll be facing here, because we're going to put on some copyright-free jazz and just relax for a little bit. I'm going to find something that I think everyone will like. As quiet as possible. There we go. Well, hello there, GI. I'm so glad you can make it. So today, we're doing a fairly non-standard version of the stream, I guess you could say. We're not really going to worry too much about getting all the good news and stuff like that involved, though of course it is a worry that we always consider. Today's episode is going to be a bit of a look back on, well, I guess the stream as a whole. So, the stream started in October of 2020, and, we're up to 2022 now, which is almost spooky in a way. Now, we do have some good news. It'll be interspersed with the interesting and maybe hopeful things that I have for the new season approaching. To begin with, something that I'm very happy with the existence of and the effect of is the Soothsayer series that I've been working on, and I haven't really gotten a whole lot of interest, a whole lot involved with it just at the moment, but what I can say is that, oh, howdy, Rain. There we go. My intention is certainly to try and experience new things of voice acting as well, on new domains of making sounds. And something that happens in voice acting is that you have to experiment a little bit to figure out what works well. And I'd like to give a little bit of that experimentation something extra, something spicier than before. It's funny. Just today, I received a notice telling me that a book that I had auditioned for, back in I think it might have been like 2016 that I had auditioned for this book on. Well, howdy there, Potato Chia. I might have auditioned for this book back in. Actually, you know what? I like this better than the one we're using right now. Because the flame is a little bit too center focused for this particular interest here. So we'll switch it up to this. There we go, it's better. it can be really difficult sometimes to understand where the progression is going. We know where you're headed and where things are moving towards in your life. And for me, I actually don't feel a huge fear of that. Though, of course, I think I did have that same existential crisis. Yesterday, particularly, I think it's very common for people to look back on New Year's and to have some problematic thoughts because of it. But despite that, it does seem that things have improved for me, and they have improved for a lot of other people as well. This channel existing and being able to bring forward a lot of the good hopes and good wishes and good wants that I have is certainly an outcome of my persistence and consistency. Having only missed 1 week so far in the past year and however many weeks it's been. It's actually snowing over here right now too, believe it or not. It's a big old snowy day. The changes that exist in our world, changes to who we are and the things that we do for entertainment or for our welfare, they come from a place. It's a place that exists within us as a desire to improve. Thank you for the hearts, chat. Our improvement isn't always as simple to track as A to B. For me, it is sometimes more difficult to understand than I'd like, but a new year and a resolution can sometimes be a daunting thing. However, for me, my resolution was very simple: spend more time talking with the people that I love. And I don't think you could get much more invested in relationships and with your friends than that, really. Because the idea of being there for the people who you love and who have shown you love, being happier and healthier and just giving them the time as opposed to something that matters less. That's a thing all on its own. But I hope everybody listening had a lovely New Year's. And I wish a happy one to all of you. I spent the evening hanging out with old friends who I hadn't spoken to in quite some time. And I can only wish that you had a kiss or two or maybe more during your New Year's. So all of that aside, I welcome you back to the stream for our 62nd episode. I have taken to calling this show a live podcast, which I don't know exactly how true that is considering the nature of the way that this happens, but I have had some thoughts about putting this on like Spotify or iTunes. That's something I've thought about, and SoundCloud as well. And it would need to be slightly edited for the sake of like longevity and for the sake of watchability, but certainly it's not such a bad idea in my opinion. So we are going to just touch on some good news right now for a little bit. Something lovely that I appreciate about recent news is a lot of it is drawing attention to the last couple of months and the recent breakthroughs we've had through the year. We're going to talk about that just a little bit here in a second. So here's a good one. New technology is recycling tons of lithium-ion batteries in Canada and the US. From smartphones to laptops and EVs, lithium-ion batteries are everywhere. Now, a new company breaks batteries down and extracts around 95% of the valuable materials for reuse, and investments are pouring in. The recycling plants in Canada and Rochester, New York, have the capacity to salvage tens of thousands of tons of spent batteries each year, removing waste and aiding the creation of a semi-circular battery economy. Li-Cycle, borrowing the periodic table's call sign for lithium, also claims their Smoke and Hub proprietary recycling method is cost-effective, allowing battery manufacturers to actually afford recycled material. The batteries, no matter their size or shape, are broken down by a mechanical process that results in 2 lines of raw materials. The first is the line of cathode and anode waste in a black powder that consists of lithium, nickel, cobalt, graphite, copper, and aluminium. The second scrap, aluminium and copper from the insulating or conducting foils. The black powder waste is then sent through another recovery process. It yields high-quality lithium carbonate of the required purity to be used as cathode precursor and production, effectively closing the loop on those grams of lithium. Cobalt and nickel sulfates are also produced. The company is attracting big-time investors looking to source for sustainable lithium and other minerals, the mining which gathers them being, after all, a major source of emissions, deforestation at times, and even regional conflict. Device manufacturing giant LG is looking to deliver $50 million in investment into Li-Cycle, as well as enough lithium batteries to harvest 20,000 tons of nickel over 10 years. Where's my little setting button? There you go. Just some weeks before that, it was announced that Arrival, a manufacturer of electric buses and vans, signed an exclusive closed-loop agreement with Li-Cycle to supply batteries for their vehicles, as well as recycle them at the end of their life to provide materials for the next generation of batteries. It's important to remember that all of the effort that we spend in trying to change ourselves sometimes can not really be as helpful as we'd like. It's really important that we accept who we are at some point. A part of accepting who you are is knowing that you have faults and flaws like anybody else, and that you can live with them despite what they might be. For me, that means that I can be a little bit too kind-hearted, or a little bit too willing to accept things that I shouldn't. And, everybody has a thing that they shouldn't necessarily just accept, but they do anyway because it's just in their nature. I guess I'm that way too. But I have some stories about people who didn't accept that. And we've spoken a little bit about the nature of the stories from this year on Good News Network, but this is a little bit of a catch-up when it comes to the stories we've already spoken about. So number 1, Canada launches satellite technology that identifies dark vessels illegally catching billions of fish. Number 2, 20,000 pounds of trash removed from Pacific garbage patch. For more than a decade, we've been hearing about the problem of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and for all that time, it seemed the only person who had a serious idea of how to get rid of it was a young man from the Netherlands. After all these years, Boyan Slat has proved that if you want something done right, the best thing to do is to do it yourself. His method of using the very currents that made the patch to unmake it this year worked like a charm, drying 20,000 pounds of trash out of the ocean in little time. Number 3, largest farm to grow crops under solar panels proves to be a bumper crop for agrivoltaic land use. And number 4, huge supply of water is saved from evaporation when solar panels are built over canals. Number 5, researchers pull carbon out of the sky and convert it to instant jet fuel, reshaping aviation for good. Number 6, island overrun with rats completely recovers in only 11 years after ecosystem had been decimated. Number 7, hundreds of solar farms built atop closed landfills are turning brown fields into green fields. Number 8, this is a favorite of mine. Kenyan woman starts up a recycling plastic waste company that creates bricks that are 5 times stronger than concrete. And she looks like she's real proud, and I appreciate the pride in her smile. Number 9, the world's biggest factory to suck carbon from the sky and store it for millions of years turns on in Iceland. And number 10, spectacular coral event this year spawns hope and billions of babies for the Great Barrier Reef. Generally speaking, there is a lot of good stuff that happened this year, but those are some of the most important things I can think of as well. This year was, in fact, I guess the last year, what am I saying? It's the 2022 now. Last year was huge, though. It can be really easy to look back and see a lot of negativity in the events that occurred in 2021. But all the same, good things happen every day. And I like to think they're happening right now in the case of this stream, but I won't get ahead of myself. The future of Cassie's Mishima as a Twitch channel is probably going to undergo slight deviations from the intended agenda of making it simply Cass Talks, and that being Saturday, and our Sunday stream. I'm considering adding in other streaming days for playing video games. The major problem I've run into is I actually do not have a large selection of video games that I would call family friendly. It seems, and anyone who plays video games has an idea of this as well, video games at large are not exactly what I would call massively consumable in a way that makes them easy for everybody to enjoy them the same. I completely understand that. I'm not against that in the slightest. However, it is important to remember this is intended to be a sort of a family-friendly stream. And finding games that fit that genre and that also interest me is a little bit of a challenge. Just a little bit of a challenge. I might think about The Sims 4 though. The Sims 4, or it's a pretty good time of the year to be doing this, considering all this stuff going on. And House Flipper comes to mind. You know, a number of things come to mind looking at the Steam sales right now. But I mean, I certainly don't have the answer to what would be the best game for this channel. I've thought about what interests me as far as video games go, and I do think I still have room to grow before I understand what I would enjoy the most as far as playing a video game for stream. I don't really like the idea of doing something that is, once again, Minecraft comes to mind. I would love to play a PG Minecraft. PG craft, family craft, whatever. Cast craft, whatever you want to call it. I don't quite have the computer specs for that at the moment, unfortunately. However, certainly there are always ways to try and make things work. I'm going to give that a shot this year. Excuse me, I almost said next year, but this year. We're going to give it a shot this year. The idea, though, of branching out and trying new things, it does indicate to me that there is a need for me to try and find new things for us to do together on these streams and on these occasions where I'm able to just offer you guys a little bit of a aside for whatever bothersome things might exist in life or in the world. Oh, Flower's on here. Flower might be a fun game to play, actually. Yeah, I'll get Flower and we'll play some of that at some point, maybe tomorrow. Although I don't know how it's going to control with I think it requires a controller. No, it doesn't say you need a controller, I suppose. It doesn't have to have one. If I was going to be playing this, though, it would be so slow-paced. Let's see. Yeah, sure, why not? Why not? So we'll play a little bit of Flower then. We need games that are like that, though. And we need games that won't necessarily provide any too much of a guffaw in the terms of theming, because you know even Flower has some themes of like sadness in it, which of course I would prefer to avoid, I'll say, but you can't always, you know, make that work as well as you might like to, which is completely understandable. Sort by user reviews. I'll try Dwarf Romantic as a game too. I guess I could get into Dwarf Romantic. I don't really know how I would feel about even playing that, but I can give it a try. Yeah, maybe we'll give it a try. I know that particularly there was some enjoyment to be had from the I know John from Miniature Nerd was really enjoying it, and it is like a pretty game. Sure, we'll get that too. Maybe we'll play some of these. I'm not sure actually how this will work out. I'm not sure. But we'll get on to some more good news and get back to buying video games some other time. So here's a short one. Eye drops to replace reading glasses for aging eyes go on sale following FDA approval. This is from the 26th of last year. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved the first and only eye drop that can treat age-related blurry near vision. The new ophthalmic solution called Vuity treats presbyopia and is now available by prescription in pharmacies nationwide. Presbyopia can be diagnosed through a basic eye exam by an eye doctor and is a common and progressive eye condition that affects 128 million Americans, or nearly half of the U.S. adult population. We are pleased to be able to bring this first-of-its-kind treatment to market sooner than expected. Vuity is an optimized formulation of pilocarpine, an established eye care therapeutic delivered with proprietary PHAST technology, which allows the drop to rapidly adjust to the physiologic pH of the tear film. This was studied in simulated tear film, and the clinical significance is unknown. Vuity uses the eye's own ability to reduce pupil size, improving near and immediate vision while maintaining distance vision. The FDA approval of Vuity in October 2021 was based on data from 2 pivotal phase 3 clinical studies, which evaluated the efficacy, safety, and tolerability of Vuity using a total of 750 participants aged 40 to 55 years old with presbyopia. One of the trial participants, Tony Wright, said, "It has become almost impossible to see clearly up close unless I wear my readers. I'm so excited that this has now been approved and available as a treatment." Both studies met their primary endpoints with a statistically significant proportion of participants treated with Vuity gaining 3 lines, the ability to read 3 additional lines on a reading chart, or more in mesopic and low light, high contrast, binocular distance corrected near visual acuity, without losing more than 1 line of corrected distance visual acuity at day 30, hour 3, versus placebo. The new medicine takes effect in about 15 minutes with 1 eye drop on each eye, providing sharper vision for 6 to 10 hours. According to the company, the drops are for mild to intermediate cases and are less effective after the age of 65 as eyes age. Users may also have temporary difficulty in adjusting focus between objects near and far. There were no serious adverse events observed in any participants treated with Vuity in either clinical study, the most common side effects occurring at a frequency of greater than 5% were mild headaches and eye redness. Not typically covered by health or vision insurance, it costs around $76 to $86 for a 30-day supply depending on your pharmacy. Lovely. So I guess I can make it clear, and most people would understand. I do like video games a lot. I do. I have a love of video games and of the genre of games that are basically meant to be casual and chill games. Because for the most part, creating, comfortable and chill environments with people who generally do desire or genuinely do need those things in their lives. It's wonderful giving people that. And it is a good thing to branch out and try new ways to grow and expand and generally improve your horizons. Improve your horizons. And it is very important to branch out and try new things. I'll say that much. Thank you very much for your hearts, G. I appreciate it. As far as new things are concerned, I think that what we'll do is we'll install these games right now, see how long that takes. Only 2.5 gigabytes for both of these. Maybe we'll play some right now, I don't know. I've never played Dorfromantik before. I've seen people play it, but I don't generally enjoy watching chill games as much as I enjoy playing them. Which I'm sure makes sense considering I sort of, I'm the one who has to be gaining the chill from it to really engage in any specific amount. I need to figure out what Averoth is, because it could be interesting. I don't know, this is a game with violence in it, not for me. But there are a number of very fun and lovely ways to play video games that don't require any violence at all. And this channel is not inherently meant to be a streaming, to be a podcast kind of channel. It may be true that that's thank you, Rain, a majority of how it has started, but I'm in no way against the idea of watching it transform into something a little different. But I also have to find things that interest me, and I don't know if a lot of the games I've played in the past interest me that much. Calming games and casuals, very true. I just would like to make sure that they don't have any themes that I'm not comfortable with as far as when it comes to creating or building or enjoying things. Like Slime Rancher and Forager. Agreed, yes. We'll see what the future holds for that as well. There's a game called Goddess, which I think the name is sort of mischievous to me considering I don't quite enjoy things that have that titling. But I think I like the idea of playing a simulator like that. But it does take some cleverness to know what would be fun and what would be interesting for, a storage. What would be interesting and fun for me and for you folks to actually watch and enjoy. It's a middle ground that has to be walked a bit finely sometimes. What did you say, Rain? That got you bleeped. Slither.io. I don't know if I want to do anything competitive, to be honest with you. It's an idea, though. There's also competitive Dorfromantik, which I have never really considered doing myself. Oh, anniversary edition. I didn't know there was an anniversary edition of this. Huh. Interesting. Well, there is a lot to think about and look at in the moment for sure. Oh, it says they're all done. It does have some competitive parts to it. So I'm just gonna put on Dorfromantik right now and get into it. I think because I'd like to see how this sort of captures. Just get a little taste of what it's like. And I will change the stream name. It would be Dorfromantik. Whoops. Dorfromantik. There we go. Our game uses Unity Analytics through this certain personal data is collected. That's fine. So my understanding of this game is that it is very simply just a average way of playing a new game with some twists and some management stuff on top of it. So we're gonna give it a shot and see what happens. Turn it down just a little bit though. Sound. There we go. Okay. Views on your keyboard. Click and drag the right mouse button to rotate the camera. Alternatively, you can use Q and E keys on your keyboard. While hovering over the background with your mouse, scroll the wheel to zoom. Alternatively, you can use X and C on your keyboard. In Dorfromantik, you build landscapes out of hexagonal tiles. Click on one of the empty tile slots around your world with your left mouse button to place the top tile from your stack. While hovering over an empty slot, use your mouse scroll wheel or the R and F buttons on your keyboard to rotate your tile before placement. Okay. So, generally, this is a pretty simple looking game. This way you can form groups of elements like forests or villages. Place tiles next to each other and connect their colored edges to form a forest spanning at least 5 tiles. Connected groups will light up. There we go. Okay, so the idea of having a god game where you play as a being, right, of any kind that just sort of creates stuff. I think that's very fascinating. And I also think that it's very interesting to get into situations where you're basically in control of a huge amount of, I don't know, a huge amount of power, but it's like a slow kind of power, right? It's a very slow power. So if we place this right here, it wouldn't align unless it was in this spot or this spot, and this wouldn't align with the otherwise important forced nature. Okay. Place that there, and if we put this here, that would align. And if we put this here, I think we're going to have to accept that some of it's not going to align the way we'd like it to. Though I am still quite new at this game, so I think I can only ask for forgiveness for any mistakes that I make. There we go. So, when I was very young, I visited the Alpines. I think it was actually the Rockies, to be more specific, with my father and brother. I remember there was a moment when we were climbing up the mountains and you could see a lot of the world laid bare before you. And sometimes it was really important to remember that a journey, whether at the beginning or the end, is not necessarily about trying to achieve a goal quickly. Realist Jewel is now following. Thank you so much, Realist Jewel. But trying to enjoy the method of movement from one end of the goal to another. The movement in this game seems to be that when you are lining things up, you look for a circuit of similarity, and you try to measure that similarity across what appears to be these hexagons, and the placement of them allows you to get further points, right, to let you keep playing the game for a longer period. The tile counter in the bottom right shows you the amount of tiles in your stack. Once it reaches 0, the session ends. Place 3 tiles to continue. It seems as though the objective is to either continue the amount of placement that you can produce, in this case a big old forest, or to gain the highest frequency of points. You gain tiles by fulfilling quests, indicated by the speech bubbles. To complete this quest, add at least 8 additional houses to the colored edges. Okay. So here we go. We have a bonus right there. We have a bonus right here. I believe we can have... look at this. A bonus right here. Listen to that sound. That's the sound of success. Look how closely stacked they are. And little tiny houses like this. My grandma and grandpa used to live in a... This is before they passed, unfortunately, which they lived to be very old, so they didn't get cheated. They lived in a... Thank you, Rain. They lived in a suburb. I remember that when I was in that suburb, I had so many thoughts and feelings about the world they lived in and how different it seemed. But there are suburbs in the United States that are clearly meant for elderly folk. There's one right next to my suburb, actually. And I always get this feeling when I see that maybe there are other children who have other grandparents that feel the same way I did. Can't quite explain that. You gain tiles by fulfilling quests, indicated by speech bubbles. We already did that, so we're going to... no. Okay, cool, we have to match this. Match that. Match that. Ooh, wait, can we do this a double Z? No, we can't do a double Z there. There we go. I think we might have not given ourselves a double Z properly. There we go. Look at this lovely little spot. Here's another quest to complete. Connect 3 fields to the quest tile. Oh, those are fields. I thought those were rocks. My bad. My brain wasn't correctly appropriating what that must have been. The symbol in the corner of the speech bubble hints at the following task. Let's see. in the future, I'd like to find a way to connect both the houses and the grain in a more effective way. But for now, we'll do it like this. Oh no, you added too many fields. You can have too many? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have to worry about the number that we are using as well. I wouldn't have expected that. So we can have too many, okay. So it's going to be important for us to not be overly ambitious with our field connections, because then this makes it go from an 8 to a 9. Okay, and then we'll do this, and then have a tiny little field connected here somewhere. Right here is perfect. I hope that the actual stream isn't looking a little too slow. I don't know if I can actually see what that looks like for you guys. Completing this quest spawned a flag, which indicates its group can be closed to gain extra points and tiles. This field group is closed when it can not be expanded anymore. Hover over a flag to highlight the remaining open edges and place tiles there. So we have to exit this group, right? We have to like this and put a cap on it. There we go, that's the cap. Train tracks and river tiles have placement restrictions. Their ends cannot lead into different types of tiles. Invalid spots are marked with a red cross as visual help during this tutorial. So, I imagine that these will have some effect on our future of what we're interested in making. Okay. Let's place this over here. Ooh, it's trying to tell us that we have to be careful with our propositioning of rivers. Interesting. Very interesting. However, we might have built ourselves in completely. Every time you place a tile, you gain points according to how well it fits to its neighboring edges. Collect 200 points to complete the tutorial. Right there. Then we got a +3 here. Actually, wait, we might. There we go. And then here we can find a. That one might be on its own. There we go. There we go. That's cute. The sounds are really cute in this game. You completed the tutorial. Congratulations. You also unlocked your first special tile, the windmill. It might show up in the tile stack in your game next session. Lovely. So now we are starting the gloves are off. So I think starting, and I will get into the methodology of what I'm choosing to do. Starting the game with a green in the very center, we want to make sure that we have plenty of room to occupy the outfacing spots, which will be where we place the adjacent and further growing tokens. And to make sure that I can do that with some level of either aptitude or with certainty, I'm going to continue that level of specificity in where I'm placing things. So there, that's a good one. I think this is a good spot for it. Now adding houses. Hey look, they've got pumpkins. It's like October for them. It's October for these folks. So there's a chance that we could lose out on a wheat bonus or a forest bonus if we place this somewhere like here. Let's give it its own little spot here in the side. So going this way, we have several connections that could exist. We have a small connection to a forest and a connection to a wheat field. I think if we do this here and then we do something else there for our forest, we can connect that too. Now the train tracks I would assume would be closer to the village, maybe. Or maybe they'd be further away. Let's put them a little further away. I have like some Bob Ross vibes right now. The double connection there is great. And some wheat fields here. Also good. Let's connect them backwards though, so we don't get any train track mishaps. And then right here, we can get a +3. That would be too much though. So let's get this maybe. I don't know if I'm gonna connect that just like that yet though. Let's connect it like this. There we go. And we want to make sure we put this in a position to best solidify the potential of forests in the future. So if we do this, we could have a forest right here that continues it, or we could continue in this direction, knowing very well that it's very likely we'll get more forests. We also want to make sure we have room for a river. If we get a corner piece river, that'd be very helpful. So we'll start there. So I'm going to read another thing of good news for you guys while I think more about what to do next in this game. Actually, can I have it set so that I can basically do okay. I'm going to turn this to... Oh, I guess that didn't help. Okay, I'll do it that way then. Let's see... Here we go. Major turning point in 2021 saw global shipping take massive steps to reduce emissions. This is from the 30th. 2021 was, among other things, good and bad. The year in which the global marine shipping industry took concrete steps towards reducing its global emissions footprint. Accounting for 90% of the world's international trade and 3% of human emissions, marine shipping is among the largest greenhouse gas emitters, and one which could, in theory, go green the easiest. It looks like our intention to wait has paid off, as we've gotten ourselves a lovely little setup here of both connecting houses and trees in 2 directions. Lovely. It started in April when a fledgling Biden administration pushed the International Maritime Organization to improve on its stated push to neutralize emissions by 2070, toward a complete absence of emissions by 2050. But it didn't end there. And there's another good one. In October, 9 companies committed to zeroing out emissions from shipping their products by 2040, including retailer giants like Amazon, IKEA, Unilever, and Patagonia. Lovely. Now let me make sure I'm checking. Okay, cool. I need to find some way to look at my screen at the same time. That's going to be a tough one, figuring out how to play this and have the screen open properly. We'll figure it out though. In July, an announcement from Wärtsilä, a marine technology firm, detailed that 2 load-bearing tests of engines powered by green hydrogen and ammonia blends performed as needed to carry the world's goods across the oceans. Lovely. So if we do like this, then we could probably connect a forest here somehow, or we could try to connect it like that later on. I don't know where that's going to be headed though, and putting this there is sort of just a silly idea because it's not going to go that way. We'll start here and see where that goes. Give this a try. Go in that direction. We can go here. See where that goes. We want 3 water for this one. Oh, we can connect that easy. My grandfather had I guess you could call it a game that he liked to play with me and my brother, where he would have the 2 of us. Oh, this is lovely. That works just fine. He would have the 2 of us sit on his knee, sometimes at once, and he would do this pretending of being a horse carriage and going at different speeds. And the different speeds would be represented by how he would kick and bounce his knees. And I always remember I loved that. I think sometimes I remember that I have a fondness for this sentiment, though I find that even I can reach levels of saying things that are overly sentimental. That sentiment does mean a lot to me. We almost let our forest get squashed here by accident. Let's see, where can we go well with this? Sometimes you don't get the matching cube pairs that you'd like, but it's alright. Well, we could do this. Perfect. Lovely. And we can connect this there. And I remember very well that he was a quieter guy, quieter in the lifetime that I knew him in. And I like to think that for whatever problems my grandparents had, a thing that can really happen with people when they have grandkids is they chill out. They chill out a lot. I feel like that was the case for them, is that they became much calmer, and they seemed to have a good relationship with my father because of it. Though I'm sure he'd be able to speak to that more than me. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Double matches. Lovely. Also, in the summer, Maersk, the world's largest shipping company, announced that a new fleet of 8 vessels built to run on sustainable methanol would replace 8 older vessels, totaling 1 million tons of CO2 savings per year. And then in November, the COP rolled around, and world leaders arrived in droves to try and hold their nations accountable for the security of the world's health. And here, 13 world leaders followed Denmark's lead in committing to a zero-emission shipping industry through the use of green fuels like hydrogen, ammonia, and methanol. Meanwhile, in the private sector, it's a barn. Wow, it's a barn. Interesting. It's gonna have cow noises. November also saw the maiden voyage of the Yara Birkeland, a self-driving ammonia-powered ship vessel that in a single year will eliminate the need for 40,000 diesel-driven truckloads of fertilizer to be moved around the Oslo Fjord. Well, I find that to be charming as heck. So if we place this here, we could have a barn there at some point. I think I want to connect this closer to civilization, though, myself. There we go. We want a 165 for this. Well, let me tell you, buddy, we've got something for you. We've got a 48 already. I told you those trees would come in handy later. And we want to get that there. Let's pull this a little further that direction, and then we can go booyah. Booyah. This is a lot of water right here. So we're at 61 and 1780. I think we've finished quite a few of the quests we already had in mind. So I think we're doing pretty well. And here we can try our hand at making a connection with the stream and also with some houses, but I don't think it's going to work. No, it's not going to work this time, unfortunately. Oh, we can make a connection to fields. Lovely. to establish I guess you could say like an actual adjacency bonus with all of these things at once. It does seem like it would be challenging because I'm already running into the trouble of like, oh, I'm going to have to waste the space here, it seems. Unless I can find a way to build something right here, which I don't believe, oh, there will be a train that will do that, but I mean, I'm happy to be proven wrong, I suppose. And this will be the big kahuna, I'd say. 7 and 17. This one wants 53. So I think we can 53 this. Oh no, we're not locked out. Good. I thought we were locked ourselves out for a second. And this is just sort of a slight one. That's important. Let's see. Oh, we did find one. Wow, I'm very happy about that we did find a connection there that would work. I was worried we might not. Okay, and this is we've unlocked the train, it seems. Oh, lovely. Claim the locomotive. Lovely idea. Okay, so we're just going to have a little connection there. Where are we connecting any fields? No fields need to get connected here. However, we can justifiably connect our fields this way. Oh, you know what? I thought this was going to connect in a more meaningful way. I was wrong, though. It's my fault. There we go. And we can connect these over here, I believe. Or is that too many? 10. Oh, it's saying that there has to be a connection there for it to work. Okay, close. I see what's up. I see what's up. So it's possible we could find something that fits that theme well. I don't know if we will, but we'll keep our eyes open. All right. Oh, this is the stuff right here. Look at that. We got some of our tiles back, folks. Top tier tiling. Tile boys and girls. And 2 more. Some more tiles for you. Well, alright. What quests do we have right now? We only have the water and the track quest, and a little bit of this forest quest still hanging in the balance. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'd like to make sure if we want to do a field quest, we could. The water train station. Wow, that seems kind of advanced for just starting out, but you know, if it's working, it's working, right? So is this it's a connector between water and a train yard. That's something. I don't think we have a really, okay, so wait, I have an idea. If we could potentially get this to wrap from the train station here all the way across back to this point here, that'd be one heck of a thing to do, wouldn't it? Let's give it a shot later on. We're gonna, you know, just prepare for the future a little bit, right? Just prepare in case that sort of strikes our fancy at one point or another. And we can just about finish off this forest and just about finish off this right here. Is there any way we can connect both of these? No, it doesn't seem like it, unfortunately. This is not really a house connection spot, though. This is more of just a spot that happens to have houses connected to it. You know what I mean? And you know what? I want to try the bridge here. I don't know how this is going to work, so I'm going to let that one sit there for a while and just give it some consideration. Wait, so it doesn't want to connect that way? It wants to connect on its own. Okay, cool. I'll try that. The boat. We've unlocked the boat. Alright. It seems like we're doing pretty well so far. This might be easier than I'm anticipating that it will be, but I mean, I think we're doing really well. So, we could get some water. Or we could go for one of these little fields. Let's go for a field. Add exactly 3 fields to fulfill this quest. Okay, so we want exactly 3 fields. And then this would be too many fields, wouldn't it? Too many fields in the kitchen. I think that succeeding this quest is more important than succeeding these 2 minor ones, so I'm going to sort of cancel that out, unfortunately. Okay, I think we have doomed ourselves with this little train station here as well, which is a little sad, but we'll see. We'll see. We might get something out of that. Well, I mean, I don't know. You know what? Let's keep an open mind. Put that there, just in case. Keep our minds open. So that wants a more specific amount of houses than the ones we have right now. So we'll see about that. So it looks like when it comes to adding a large portion of houses at once in this particular system, you need to make sure there are separations so that when you add something, you could necessarily get one that needs a lot and then add it to this and get it instantly, or get one that requires less and then add to that one in its own degrees. Okay. It's very helpful to me, actually, to understand that. Helps me a lot. Put that there. And then fulfill the quest. Perfect. It says it's perfect. I mean, I can't disagree. When the game tells me it's perfect, the game knows best, you know? And then we can start adding these houses over here. Actually, you know what? No, that's a bad idea, because we'll close them if we do that. I don't want to close the loop too fast. Let's see. We can make a little connection right there. Little house connection. Little filling in the gaps. See, that would work there. So what we need here is we need a corner for the railroad and also like a corner for the river. I think that'd be great. So we're going to add this here, because this is a lot of potential for new places, new spaces. And this is the actual locomotive is right there. Where do we want to put the locomotive? Oh my gosh, this seems like a big step for us. Oh, it's moving. I bet people who love like tiny trains in real life would get so much out of this, right? I bet they'd be super into this. This seems like it would be their jam, if you ask me. 4, 3. Where's it? Oh, wow, look at it go. This game is lovely. This game is just darn lovely, isn't it? Just a darn lovely game. And then we do this way. And then we can get some fields over here. That's too many fields for this, but I think it's more important to get this working than just this one thing right here. Oh, and that's a train end. It's perfect. It ends right there. Wow. That's just what I needed. That's lovely. I am all about that. Right there, that connects. And then that connects right there. And then you just need another corner segment with some more of those. I think that would close out the loop, though. We don't want to close the loop too early. Oh, that connects there. We're good then. We just need a little bit more. And we'll save this for a different connection, probably. A different connection somewhere else. Like knowing this train is kind of just doing its own thing, right? Like it's got some purpose. We just don't know what it is yet, maybe. There we go. Look at that junction. That's a lot of different tracks to try and put someplace. That's a 4 junction. Gosh. Okay, I guess it'll branch out there. And then we'll find that this wants that specific amount, so we're not going to do that one yet. Junction that. Would this work here? No. Well, I don't know. That could be something. I like that that could be something. I'm going to suggest that that could be something eventually. The lavender biome. Lovely. Well, I had no idea that this game had this level of specificity to it. But I'm enjoying it, actually. I really am enjoying it. Do we need any houses? No, we're good on houses right now. So let's make sure we have some room open in case we want to add more, though. So right there. Oh, it's another field. This would sort of destroy the idea we have right now of making this field so easily. So we're going to place this over here. More sleepy villages. Let's put this right here in case you want to add something between them. Ah, there we go. That's great. That's a great one. Let's see. This little water biome over here. And look, like it closes its own loop so easily. Like right here, this could be anything, this spot, but then like I've placed this here and it just becomes that. This is a heck of a game, I'll be honest with you. I'm really enjoying it. And we could close the loop by following it in this direction too, couldn't we? It's a lovely idea. We want to save this for some forests, though, so we're not going to do that yet. There we go. Closing it up. No, this is not the right one we want just yet. We're getting closer, though. We're getting real close. There we go. We're getting close. Look at that. Oh, I'll close that one out. Perfect. I have to admit, this is a fun game to look at because there's like a lot going on at once and it's stimulating a part of my brain that I haven't really activated for a while. The builder center of the brain. The Bilderberg brain. So let's see where we go from here. I'm going to put some more good news up. Let's see, what would we like here? Here's another good one from the 31st, just yesterday. A career oil exec dedicates himself to capping millions of abandoned oil wells to help the planet. Across the United States, there may actually be millions of old oil wells that emit methane into the atmosphere and pollute local ecosystems. A truly staggering problem that few people knew existed. One by one, however, the wells are being sealed by none other than a nonprofit created by a career oil executive who became concerned by the mess which drilling activities left behind. Oh, that looks great right there. That's a great spot for it. Oh, is this one? Oh, it's not the one yet. It's not the one just yet, but we're really close to that one. I feel it. We're very close. This is not a reasonable way to make a train yard to have it connect like that. We're going to make it connect this way. Not a reasonable way to make a train yard. Oh man, that's really close right there, isn't it? This is such a mood. This game is such a mood. So this train is just kind of sort of checking out where it's going to go next. It doesn't quite know yet, almost. There we go. And then this will basically be finished right here, just about. That's great. That's a great spot for it. Connect those up. So we have to focus on our objective a little bit more, though. We have to find something that's a better connection there than just that. So this will finish this one over here for us. There we go. Give us some more tiles back. Oh, that train is just so darn cute. I like that it's sort of doing its own thing over there, not bothering anyone at all. No trouble. And then we want this one. Oh, we just need one more, and then we're finished. Wow. When I saw the condition that was left behind by the industry, I was absolutely horrified. Curtis Shuck Jr., the founder of the Well Done Foundation, told the BBC, "I was embarrassed, as being an industry professional, that in any universe we would have, that it was okay to walk away from something like that." According to the EPA, there are, oh my gosh, this is a big number, guys, 2,150,000 unsecured oil wells, some laying meters away from people's homes across America. They regularly emit more than 7 million tons per year of methane, a natural gas which remains in the atmosphere for only a few years, but which nonetheless carries a noteworthy claim on the climate change adjust and an impact due to its effects on localized warming. I had no idea about any of that, I'll be honest with you. Well Done's methods are thorough, relying first on donated money to finance the project. It then works with local government and the EPA to assess and develop the appropriate well capping methods, which they outsource to local communities, often to those who have lost their oil industry labor positions when the wells were abandoned. Let's see if we can change the settings a little bit on this one. I don't know if that's something we can change so easy like this. Okay, well, we're gonna keep on trying. I'm not there yet, just yet. There we go. So what are we looking to do next? We want to find some darn way to connect this right here. And we want more railroads for this. Okay. And we want more forest. So we'll give this forest boy a little bit more here. If we can, that is. I don't know if we can, actually. So we need something with water and forest to finish that off. Okay. There's a lot going on in this game already. It's already getting a little bit overwhelming, I have to admit. That's totally fine. There we go. Some houses there. And some fields. Does it want only 14, or is it okay with having more than 14? Oh, we closed the loop on this one. I didn't even notice. Oh, that got me by surprise. So where can we get this to go to 14 pretty easily? Let's try that. Oh, we did it. We did it. We got the loop closed. Wow. Guys, I feel like Owen Wilson. Like, wow. Like, I feel great. That's a good thing right there, what we've just done. That's very good. So, there's gotta be a way to do this. Well, I won't worry about it just yet. So, afterwards, they format a long-term site monitoring project to ensure any lingering effect on the ecosystem is identified and addressed. The young nonprofit has so far conducted 14 well plugging projects in Louisiana, Montana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, which they say will save the nation the emissions equal to the annual electricity use of 99,000 homes. Oh, that's certainly something, isn't it? Try and get this one over here. Where's that tree thing we wanted? this one. We're not quite ready to do that yet, though, are we? If we could somehow connect this with this, that would be very helpful. I would really get something out of that. There's a lot there. There's a lot there that can be connected. A lot. How can we marry this? Oh. It's happening slowly. It's starting to happen a little bit at a time, you know. It's happening just slightly. No. Don't close the loop too soon. I think I might have accidentally closed the loop. I'm sorry. I closed the loop. I came very close to closing it by mistake. Let's see. So I don't know how long these normally go for, but certainly this is like a extremely like playable game just in whatever state this is for it at the moment. I don't know if this is its finished state or if this game has more it's still going to do. Perfect. I got a perfect. But it's very playable. Like, this is a very playable game. I mean, there's a lot to do, and it started from one tiny little spot, and it grew immensely in that period. So this one wants to have a lot of other stuff, too. That's too much, though. It doesn't want that much. It wants only 399 specifically. Well. Aren't we picky? There we go. And then this one wants 8. So that'll be 6. And then this one over here wants another 17 altogether. And this one's another 6 as well. This is a Y junction, sort of, for the oh, but that would close out the loop. And that one's another like 270. Gosh, I think that one's probably going to be closed pretty soon. Oh, we locked the boat. Lovely, just lovely. So now we can sort of close one of these here that isn't really necessary for it to be like that. And we can give this one something special. That would close the loop. We don't want that yet. Let's see, what can we use this for? Ooh, very good. Yeah, very good. Look at that. And then that one finished the loop off. Wow. I do love me a good eye when things go according to plan. Let's see. Where could this go? Oh yeah, that'd be great. Closed off for the train. Lovely. We're getting below the 25 line here pretty soon, though, so we gotta get a little bit more careful with our placement. So where would it be best to have this one? This would close the loop, and we don't want that. And this is better serving us as a house somewhere, probably, on the sidelines. And this is a connection right here. There we go. And we need 4 more, so we can't connect this one without closing it. So what we'll do is we'll still focus on the houses over here, the housing market. The housing market, of course. Free real estate. Anyway, we are focused on trying to make sure that these guys get the houses that they need. And then, there we go, this is what we need right here. And we can close the loop off in a second once we get one piece there. And then we can do this one right here, and then we can close this off. That would be good. I don't care about this. This request is fine. I don't care. Post cancel. Yeah, it's fine. It looks really good though, so I'm fine with that. There we go. Back up to 24, boys. Back up to 24. I want to keep the water with the water, you know what I mean? I want to keep water close to water. And this one needs to be connected in some way. Will that connect? Will that connect like that? I don't know. I don't think this will connect on the far right side if I do it that way. So I'm going to try there first and see where that goes. And the train's still zooming around. Still zooming. Generation. The train is generation zoomer. Oh, it's terrible. Okay, so this one wants 102 plus. Oh, you're gonna get your fill. Let me tell you, buddy. You're gonna get your fill. Unless that loop is closed. No, it's not. It's not closed. There we go. All good. And then this one wants to go this way. Not really sure what that's asking me about. There we go. There we go. Yeah, the game is slowly asking more and more specific requirements of things from us, and we're quickly not able to fill them as much as we're getting requests quicker than we are able to fill them, which is, you know, the minutia increasing in its difficulty, of course. So let's just take a little step back and see what we're doing right here. So this wouldn't do much there because we want to keep some room open for the future of those railroads. Let's try right there. No, I want to keep that open. This might not be a connector at all, really. Let's just put that there, and then this isn't the absolute best spot for it. I have to admit, but that's okay. That does not connect right there, unfortunately. If we had a corner piece, okay. So what we want here is we want to start going around the sides, I think. That's a very small train track for that guy, unfortunately. He doesn't have a lot to work with, which is, you know, how it goes sometimes. There are 20ers. And this guy is also a 20er. He's not going to fit there. The connections are sometimes a little difficult to understand the specifics for it, but I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at understanding what it's asking me to do sometimes. Just a little bit better. Okay. I think we're going to be ending the game pretty soon because I don't know how much more of this we can place down properly to the game's interests. So let's put more good news up for the moment. Wow, a miracle premature baby born the size of an iPhone spent Christmas at home after a roller coaster year where his parents feared he may not survive. Miles. Little Miles weighed just 1 pound 8 ounces when he was born, 14 weeks premature, on June the 19th. 24-year-old mom Rebecca Granger was rushed into hospital for an emergency cesarean section after being diagnosed with preeclampsia at 26 weeks. That's very, very early. Miles was immediately placed on a ventilator as he was unable to breathe for himself and endured a 15-week battle for life. Wow. Rebecca was not able to see or hold her boy, but Dad, Warren McKenna, was given a quick cuddle before Miles was taken to neonatal intensive care. Only parents were allowed in the neonatal intensive unit due to restrictions, and Warren was the only person allowed to visit Rebecca. The couple were terrified of recent events and having to isolate because missing 10 days with their baby would have been their worst nightmare. For 15 weeks, the couple's lives revolved around the hospital, leaving early in the morning to be there for Miles and often staying until 2 a.m. Rebecca from Yoker, Glasgow, said, "That would have been my worst nightmare, knowing I couldn't get up there for 10 days. Rebecca said her pregnancy had gone smoothly until 26 weeks. She realized she hadn't felt much more movement from her baby and decided to speak with her midwife." It seems like that was a really good idea. She was constantly monitored, but the baby's heart rate suddenly dropped, and doctors had to act. Rebecca said, "I thought I was just being a drama queen, but I'll just phone and see. We went up to the hospital and I thought I was going to be 10 minutes in and out. But they took me into a wee room and basically said I wouldn't be leaving pregnant again. At this point, I was just traumatized because my pregnancy was going so smoothly and I didn't feel ill in myself, so it was hard to take in." Miles was on a ventilator for the first 3 weeks of his life, and he managed to fight off a blood infection, but his lungs were not getting any better. A secure video messaging app called vCreate, funded by Glasgow Children's Hospital charity, allowed Miles' parents to receive updates from their baby's doctors constantly. Rebecca said, "Our daily routine involved getting up first thing and checking the vCreate where nurses would have sent a picture or video during the night. They were so personal and it really helped us. The consultant sat us down and said Miles had been on ventilator for too long, so they would give him steroids to wean him off, but there were side effects from both. I remember asking what the side effects would be. The consultant basically said if he stays on the ventilator, he might not make it, but if he is given steroids, he also might not make it. And I remember thinking, why is this happening to us? We were always told it was going to be a roller coaster, and at this point, I thought the roller coasters crashed. He was like the size of an iPhone. He could really sit on my hand." The consultants explained that anything could happen with him. It could go 50-50. But it was really tough to hear on my own, especially with the fear of the unknown. By the time we got to take him home, he was 5 pounds, 5 ounces. He's still tiny, but we thought he was absolutely humongous, a baby giant. It was a week after Miles' birth before Mom Rebecca was able to hold him, but she said the tot is settling in well at home now despite having chronic lung disease. Rebecca said, "The first time I held him was amazing because I got to see his wee face. Skin-to-skin contact came later and was just a whole different feeling. That's when I really felt I'm his mom." When he was finally allowed to meet his extended family, there were tears galore. They said that they had been blessed by a miracle. Well, it's very sweet. So, I feel like we don't have a lot more we can do in this game before we're gonna get canceled by Dwarf Romantic. But we'll see if we can stave off the cancellation a little bit longer. This is the one that wants to get houses over here, right? Houses. The housing market, of course. This is a little bit of a shoestring right there. Let's try that one. There we go. And we've gotten a little bit uncanceled by Dwarf. Just a little bit. Let's put this somewhere where it can connect nicely. Put some trees over here. I'm surprised that none of those connect. Those seem like they would connect for sure. I guess it connects there though. The slightly uncertain thing for me is like, I don't know how that connects, but... Oh, are these just not going to connect ever again because they're at the edge like that? Oh, I didn't realize. Ooh. This is a good one. Look at that, he can travel the whole lake, can't he? I'm thinking of those, oh, okay, he's not gonna move, unfortunately. It made me think of those guys, You made 13K, show your skills. Well, you know, Ampius, thank you for your message and your emote there. I'll try my best. This is my first time, however, so I hope that you will allow me the chance to be canceled by Dwarf Romantic and to do so with grace, because it is very likely that it's going to cancel me here in a minute. But thank you so much for letting me know. If you got 13K your first try, then you are certainly a bigger galaxy brain than I am. So we're getting down to the wire here. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, we got some cards back. We got Slightly Uncancelled. Slightly Uncancelled by Dorfromantic. And then we can uncancel ourselves even further with this one. And then further again. I don't think I want to start doing this one over here, but I just don't think we're going to get the cards for it. Or the thingy for it. Yeah, I don't think this is going to meet up anywhere that is going to be helpful to us, unfortunately. It's an abandoned railroad track at this point, which is quite sad, but it does happen. And what's less than that? Okay. That's the dangers of making a town that's too big, is suddenly the game is like, hey, you have too many houses here, it's not going to work. Gosh, I really do think that the cancellation is imminent. The cancellation is happening now. Let's see. I mean, let's see how much further we can go. We might be able to stave it off. Okay, we staved it off for... We're stuck under 10 now, though, from the nature of us having played it this long. Simply... What? Close to the group by placing tiles at the highlighted edges to fulfill the flag quest. Oh, no. Where are the highlighted edges? It wants me to fill this in. Okay. Do +2 and then connect +48. Oh man. I am so nervous about trying to do what you're saying because I have no idea exactly what you mean. You have to forgive me if I completely misconstrue your help there. I'll try. I wonder if you meant this. No. I don't think you meant that. So let's just see. +2. Connect the 48. I don't know where the connection point for that might work best. Because it's going to be too much for it right there. So we're going to place this here. Just to get the connection possible here in the moment. But let's see. Okay. Okay, where's the track we wanted to add more to? +22. I want to go in this direction now. It's okay, you're done now, maybe. I might be finished. But thank you so much for your assistance, MPS. I have never played this before. I've watched many a true nerd play this one, but John, I mean, he does gaming commentary and stuff seemingly as his job, and I've never really done that before on Twitch. So I fear that I'm a little bit under capable of stopping myself from being canceled by Dorf at this point, but we will see. Well, maybe we'll see. Maybe if I close the loop right here. Oh, okay. High score of 7310. Well, I'm going to save this one because this is really cool. I've never played this before, and though it does get a little, you know, a little collar pulling there at the very end, where it's like you don't know where it's going to go next. I have to say there was a lot of good stuff I found with this. I understood a little bit better what the dimensions of this game are and what the intentions are to actually get it working properly. At first you made it to maybe 8K, and then you were at 5K. Yeah, I feel like this game does have one of those, like, mastering sweeping sort of things. Like, it's easy to start sweeping at first, then like, oh no, you know, the deep lore of being like a janitor and sweeping for years at a time. It's like easy to learn, but impossible to master. And the curve will just get harder and harder as we try to get better and better. And I look forward to it a little bit, because this was interesting. And thank you for coming on by, Ampius. This is sort of a weird foray for this sort of stream, because usually we just do good news for the whole thing, but I wanted to mix it up a little bit. So, my favorite part about the map that we've done so far is the trains. I just love these little trains going around. Like, I swear, if you were into micro train sets, like if this was your thing when you were a kid, this would be like such this would scratch the same itch, I think, because my gosh, this is like incredible watching this little train go around. It's even got like the sound right, where it's like ding ding ding, you know, where like it does the sound properly. It's very cute. It's a very cute game. Yeah, I know, it's very cute. Okay. Well, this game is saved, and we have been canceled by Dorfromantik for now. Hopefully they will uncancel us soon, and we will play again. But tomorrow we're going to play a little bit of Flower, and we're going to generally probably read a little bit more good news, because I think that's also a good vibe, is to just have good news going on throughout the week. And this poor train over here is just like going back and forth. It doesn't seem to mind, but it's not really doing much. It's too bad we couldn't connect this, because I was really happy when we actually got the connection here with the water station. It's such a good place to put it. Such a good place. Well, folks, this has been kind of an interesting episode. You'll come by the next day, and you need to go. Goodbye. Well, goodbye to you, Ampius. Thank you so much for showing up, and I hope you have a lovely New Year's, and I hope that you feel great tomorrow. Hope we can see it again soon. Well, everybody, this has been, it's sort of been a refreshing look at the cast talks that we do. Thank you very much, Amp. And I don't really know where the direction of this could go from here, to be honest with you. But I mean, I'm interested. I am super interested, even though we are dropping frames like it's nobody's business. It's really alright, though, because we're having a good time. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the new sort of thing going on here with the video game in the background, the casual nature of it all. Oh, hello, Chia. I'm so glad you stuck around to watch. And I, love you guys bunches. This is a little fun, a little different episode this week. And I think we will do some good news tomorrow. And thank you very much, as always, to Rainwolf, to Chia Fluffpaw, my favorite guinea pig, and to our first-time chatter, Ampius, who lended us a little bit of their backseating, which, believe me, I am totally fine with backseating in this stream. No problem at all there. No trouble. Thank you guys so much for joining me. 2022 is starting out great. All the love and all the respect of you giving me some of your time to just have a lovely night here on the 1st of January. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the new year. Looking at our lovely little town here, it's something special. Oh, thank you so much, Journey, for the crown, for your follow. Right at the end of the stream. Awesome. Well, we're going to call it here for today. Lovely, just lovely. I get good vibes from this. We'll see you folks tomorrow. And sleep tight when you get there. Stay safe. And as always, you take care too, Journey. See you next time. Bye-bye.